All right, so you're ready to dive deep into the world of crypto,
Sounds good.
specifically Bitcoin and XRP.
Okay.
You've been digging into some articles from the Motley Fool,
I've seen those, yeah.
and you want answers.
Let's get into it.
Is XRP the Bitcoin killer?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Some people seem to think so,
There are a lot of opinions out there.
but we're going to unpack all of them.
We will analyze the strengths and weaknesses.
And by the end, you'll know.
You'll know what it means for your investment.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay, so let's start with the basics.
Sure.
The articles you sent,
Yeah.
they talk a lot about XRP's speed and the low cost.
Those are the big,
XRP transactions,
Yeah.
they settle in like seconds.
it's just a few seconds, yeah.
And Bitcoin, it can take a while.
An average of 10 minutes.
Yeah, around there.
That's a big difference.
Huge.
It is.
And what's really interesting is that XRP,
Yeah.
it's not just theoretical.
Oh, really? Like it's actually being used.
Okay, so it's practical.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's this network called RippleNet.
Okay.
It's global,
Wow.
and it connects
Who does it connect?
all these financial institutions.
Really?
Yeah, they're using Ripple's technology
And they're using it
for international payments.
because it's faster
Way faster
and cheaper.
and way cheaper.
Okay, and how much cheaper are we talking?
So think about this. Last year, those traditional banking systems,
Yeah.
they spent $193 billion.
$193 billion
Billion.
on fees.
That's insane.
It's a huge market.
So XRP is
That's what XRP is going after.
going after that $193 billion.
Exactly.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if banks are forced to hold XRP to use RippleNet,
That's the question.
would that mean
Would that mean the value of XRP?
skyrockets?
It could.
Okay.
I mean, that's what some people are saying.
Some people think that, they think if banks had to hold XRP,
Yeah.
it could create a supply shock.
And drive up the price?
Potentially, yeah.
That's a really
It's an interesting idea.
interesting thought.
Yeah. And it could have huge implications for the whole financial world.
But how would banks be forced to hold XRP?
Well, that's a thing.
Is that like built into RippleNet?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Some people think that widespread adoption
Yeah.
would just naturally lead to it.
Okay.
But there's no mechanism in RippleNet that makes it mandatory.
So it's more like speculation at this point.
Right. It's a theory.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's talk about Bitcoin.
Okay.
It's been a bit down lately,
It has, yeah.
dipping below that 100,000 mark.
Under 100,000.
But there's a lot of talk
There is.
about the new administration
Right.
and their crypto-friendly stance.
Yeah.
Could that be good for Bitcoin?
It could be a big win.
How so?
Well, Bitcoin has already established itself what we call digital gold.
Oh, I've heard that.
Yeah. It's a reliable store of value.
In the digital world.
Exactly.
Okay.
And recently,
Yeah.
we saw the approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs.
What does that mean?
Well, it adds legitimacy to
Yeah.
the whole crypto space.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Yep.
Any positive moves from the government?
Towards crypto
Yeah.
would probably benefit Bitcoin.
Most likely, yeah.
Okay.
Significantly.
Okay, so here's the big question.
What's that?
Are we getting a little carried away with the XRP hype?
That's a good question.
I mean,
It's easy to get caught up in the excitement,
yeah.
but those tiny transaction fees,
Yeah.
they raise questions
Hey, go.
about XRP's revenue potential.
Okay, so explain that.
Well, think about it.
Yeah.
If the fees are incredibly low,
Yeah.
even with tons of people using it,
Yeah.
how much money can they actually make?
Oh, that's a good point.
Something to consider.
So even if it becomes the standard for micropayments or something, its
Even that,
revenue might be limited.
it's possible. Yeah. And there's another thing.
Okay, what's that?
A lot of what RippleNet does,
Yeah.
it doesn't actually require using XRP.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of institutions.
Like banks.
Yeah,
They're choosing not to use XRP directly.
they are.
Why?
Because its price is so volatile.
It's up and down all the time.
Exactly.
Wow.
So,
So this whole idea of a supply shock
yeah,
forcing banks to hold XRP,
right.
pushing up the price.
It might not be as solid as it sounds.
It might not be a sure thing.
Not necessarily.
It's a curveball.
It's definitely something to think about.
Okay.
And to make things even more complex,
What?
we have to talk about the SEC lawsuit
Oh, yeah.
against XRP.
Right.
This is a big one.
It is. How much of a threat is that lawsuit
Go up.
to XRP?
It's hard to say for sure,
Okay.
but there's a possibility. It might not be as bad as it first seemed. Some sources are suggesting
What are they saying?
that the incoming administration
Yeah.
might pause
Pause what? SEC lawsuits.
all of them.
Well, the ones that don't involve fraud.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that could give XRP some breathing room.
It could, but
The situation is still developing,
right.
and the outcome
We don't know for sure.
is totally up in the air.
Absolutely.
Okay, so where does all of this leave us?
That's the question.
Is XRP really going to take down Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Is that the right way to think about it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's not really about picking a winner, Bitcoin and XRP.
Yeah.
They're actually designed for different things,
Okay.
and they come with different levels of risk.
So instead of thinking winner takes all,
Right.
maybe we should be looking at what each does well
Exactly.
and how they fit into this whole digital finance
I
thing,
think that's a great way to look at it.
this whole evolving landscape.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk a little more about XRP.
It currently has a market cap of $180 billion.
It does.
Can you explain what market cap even means
Right.
and if that valuation is really justified?
Okay. So market cap or market capitalization.
Okay.
It's basically
Yeah.
the total value of all the XRP in circulation.
Oh, okay.
So that 180 billion,
Yeah.
it reflects the market's belief
In it.
in XRP's potential.
But is it overvalued?
That's the question, isn't
Yeah.
it? Some analysts think so.
Really?
Yeah, they say.
What do they say?
It's not actually being used enough.
to justify that price tag.
Yeah, remember, a lot of those institutions on RippleNet, they're using the technology
Yeah.
without even touching XRP.
Really? So
Yeah.
basically, XRP might not be as crucial to RippleNet's success as some people think?
Yeah, it's possible.
That's a good point.
This is why it's so important to think critically,
In the crypto world.
especially in crypto.
Yeah. We can't just accept everything we hear.
Nope. You got to dig deeper,
Question everything.
question those assumptions.
I'll draw your own conclusion.
Yeah, base it on the evidence.
Exactly.
It's like that saying,
What's that?
extraordinary claims
Oh, yeah.
require extraordinary evidence.
I like that.
We have to be careful not to get caught up in the hype.
It's easy to do,
Yeah, it is.
especially with crypto.
And speaking of questioning assumptions,
Yeah.
what about this claim that XRP is faster and more scalable than Bitcoin?
That's an interesting one.
Is that even a fair comparison?
I don't know.
It feels like we're comparing apples and oranges.
Totally different things.
Right. XRP can process transactions faster
Yeah, it's definitely fast.
in terms of speed. Yeah.
But Bitcoin,
Bitcoin's strength is different.
what is it then?
It's decentralization
Okay.
and security.
Okay, so it's more secure.
It's built for that,
It's like,
like a speedboat versus a cargo ship.
oh, I like that.
The speedboat is quick and nimble,
Yeah.
but the cargo ship,
Yeah.
it's built for stability,
Okay.
and it can handle way more volume.
Over time.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
So instead of pitting them against each other,
Yeah.
we should be looking at their strengths
And where they fit in,
in the big picture.
the whole ecosystem.
Yeah, the whole crypto landscape.
Okay, so this whole
Yeah.
Bitcoin killer narrative,
It's kind of distraction.
it is
It's better to just focus on
each one individually.
their strengths and weaknesses.
You look at them separately.
Separately.
And the crypto world,
Yeah.
it can feel
It can be very tribal.
like you have to choose a side.
You pick your team.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
It's about understanding,
the technology
Yeah.
and the potential.
not just picking a winner.
Exactly.
Okay, so,
Let's look ahead a little bit.
okay.
What might the future hold for Bitcoin and XRP?
Gazing into the crystal ball now,
I know, it's hard to predict.
especially with crypto. But,
But we can look at the trends.
yeah, and see what might happen.
Yeah, like regulations.
Okay, so regulations.
They're going to be huge.
How so?
They'll shape how crypto evolves,
Yeah,
how governments decide to regulate cryptocurrencies.
yeah.
That's going to have a major impact on
Their
them.
adoption.
Well, and people use them.
Yeah, and their value.
Their price.
Exactly.
And we can't forget about the technology itself.
Of course.
It's constantly changing.
Always evolving.
New cryptos are popping up
All the time
left and right.
with new features.
New potential.
Yeah, what's revolutionary today
Yeah,
could be old news tomorrow.
exactly.
I mean,
So it's important to stay informed.
keep learning. This space moves so fast.
You snooze, you lose.
Pretty much.
The more you know about blockchain,
The better
the better equipped you'll be.
to navigate this world.
It's exciting.
It is.
And always changing.
That's what makes it fun.
Oh.
So maybe instead of worrying about XRP killing Bitcoin,
We should be focusing on
the bigger picture,
Yeah.
the evolution of digital finance.
I think that's the real story here.
It's like we're watching the birth of a new financial system.
Right in front of our eyes.
Amazing.
It's exciting to be a part of it.
It really is.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we wrap up, I have one last question.
Okay, shoot.
What's the most valuable skill someone can have?
In the world of crypto?
Yeah, to really thrive.
That's a good question.
I think it's important to understand the technical side of things.
It definitely helps. But I think the most valuable skill is critical thinking.
Critical thinking.
Yeah, being able to
What?
to evaluate information objectively,
Okay.
question assumptions,
Yeah.
and draw your own conclusion.
Come to your own decisions.
Yeah, it's crucial
Right,
because
yeah.
there's so much hype,
Yeah.
misinformation,
And conflicting opinions.
everywhere you look.
So it's not just about picking winners and losers.
Right.
It's about really understanding the tech.
And how it could change the world.
Yeah, the potential impact.
That's what matters.
It sounds like that's what it's all about.
Yeah, critical thinking is key.
To making good decisions.
Absolutely.
Well, this has been fantastic.
It has been.
We've really dug deep into Bitcoin and XRP.
Yeah, we've explored a lot.
The good, the bad, the potential.
All sides.
So as we wrap things up,
Yeah.
what's the one thing
Mm-hmm.
you want our listeners to take away from this?
I think the most important thing
Yeah.
is that the real revolution
Okay.
might not be about one cryptocurrency winning, but about the rise of decentralized finance.
So it's bigger than just Bitcoin or XRP.
It's the whole system changing.
It's the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting thought.
But what if this isn't about competition,
Yeah.
but collaboration?
Working together.
Yeah, towards a new financial future.
I like that.
It's exciting to think about.
It is the world of crypto. It's
Yeah.
always,
Always evolving.
who knows what's next?
All right, so we've got a pretty hefty stack of articles here today. Looks like we're diving into the world of crypto and specifically
Yeah.
XRP.
Yeah.
And judging by just these headlines, things are getting pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah.
XRP breaking the $3 mark for the first time in 7 years, a 16% jump on January 15th. Somebody's excited.
Someone is very excited about that.
So what's the story here? Is this just like another crypto roller coaster, or is there something bigger going on?
Well, you know what I think is really intriguing is how this XRP surge really ties into the broader crypto market recovery.
Okay.
Bitcoin is back above $100,000. Ethereum's over $3,300. It seems like the whole sector is getting this boost.
So it's not just an XRP thing then?
No, not at all.
Okay. But you know what they say, a rising tide lifts all boats. What's driving this tide, though? Why are investors suddenly so bullish on crypto again?
I think there's a few key factors at play here.
Okay.
First, you have this technical momentum.
Okay.
You know, XRP breaking through that $2.88 resistance level. That was a big signal for a lot of traders. It's attracting, I think, you know, the kind of investor who thrives on that FOMO fear of missing out.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Yeah.
So that kind of investor, though, they can really amplify price swings, right?
No, absolutely.
It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
But how sustainable is that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a double-edged sword there, right? It can create, you know, explosive growth.
Yeah.
But it can also lead to those really rapid crashes.
Right.
So I think the key here is really whether or not this momentum will attract more long-term investors.
Right.
The ones who believe in the underlying value of the asset.
So are we seeing any signs of that? Are we seeing the big players starting to take XRP seriously?
We are seeing growing signs of institutional interest
Okay.
in the crypto space as a whole. Now, typically their first stop is going to be Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Right.
But that interest is starting to spill over into other altcoins, including XRP.
Interesting. So the institutional money might be what provides that stability for sustained growth.
Yay!
But isn't there also some talk about potential regulatory shifts? Could that be playing a role in this route?
Absolutely. There's a lot of speculation right now
Yeah.
about how the incoming Trump administration might approach crypto regulation. Some anticipate, a more crypto-friendly environment,
Okay.
especially with these rumors of Paul Atkins, who's a known crypto advocate,
Okay.
potentially heading the SEC.
Hold on. Paul Atkins back in the SEC. Wasn't he there during like the early days of Bitcoin?
Yeah.
That's a blast from the past. Okay, so let's play this out for a second. What would a more favorable regulatory environment even mean for XRP specifically, though?
Well, remember the Ripple SEC lawsuit?
Yeah.
The settlement they reached last month, while costly, could actually pave the way for greater regulatory clarity for XRP.
Okay.
And this could open doors for wider adoption, maybe even an XRP ETF approval.
Right. An XRP ETF would be huge.
Oh, yeah.
That'd make it so much easier for everyday investors to get involved. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
What?
Some of these articles are throwing out some pretty bold predictions. One even mentions XRP hitting $6.40.
Yeah.
Is that even remotely realistic?
Analyst predictions, should always be taken with a grain of salt.
Of course.
However, the technical indicators they're pointing to, like the MACD and the RSI, are showing strong bullish signals.
Okay.
And XRP is also known for having very, very strong community support.
Right.
And that can be a really powerful force in the crypto world.
Yeah, you can't underestimate the power of the XRP army.
No.
Yeah, they're definitely a passionate bunch.
No.
But even with all of these positive signs, shouldn't we be considering some potential risks too? What could derail this whole bullish outlook?
Of course. One major risk factor is always regulatory uncertainty. Even with potential shifts towards a more favorable environment, the crypto landscape is constantly evolving.
Right.
A sudden regulatory crackdown either in the US or globally could quickly dampen investor sentiment.
That's a good point. And then there's always the inherent volatility of the crypto market itself. Things can change on a dime.
Precisely. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
We can't forget that crypto markets are still relatively young.
Yeah.
They're susceptible to manipulation and external shocks. So while the current momentum is exciting, it's important to approach it with a healthy dose of caution.
All right, so we've got a mix of, bullish and bearish factors at play here. It seems like we've got a potential regulatory shakeup, we've got a surge of investor enthusiasm, but also this looming threat of volatility. And that's not even mentioning this America First crypto reserve concept that's popping up in the news. It sounds like something straight out of a political thriller.
Oh, yeah, we'll save that one for later.
Yeah, but it's definitely interesting.
It is.
All right, so we'll definitely unpack that a little bit later.
Indeed. That's a whole other layer of complexity that could significantly impact XRP's future.
Okay, so stay tuned for that. We'll be right back after a quick break.
This concept of an America First crypto reserve, it has some historical parallels. Remember those strategic oil reserves?
Oh, yeah.
The ones established, after that 1970s oil crisis.
Right.
It feels kind of similar,
Okay.
but with the potential to disrupt global power dynamics in a whole new way.
Okay, I'm starting to see the connection here. But oil is a tangible commodity. How would a strategic reserve of cryptocurrency even work?
Right.
What would that even look like?
Think of it as like a digital stockpile of cryptocurrencies, potentially including XRP,
Right.
held by the government for strategic purposes.
So it's not just a matter of holding on to it.
Yeah.
They would actually use this reserve for something.
Exactly. There are several potential use cases being discussed.
Like what?
For example, it could be used to stabilize the US dollar in times of economic uncertainty.
Okay.
It could also be used to facilitate international transactions, potentially bypassing the SWIFT system.
Wow, bypassing SWIFT. Now, that would be a major shakeup of the global financial system. But how would XRP specifically fit into all of this? Why XRP and not, say, Bitcoin?
That's where XRP's unique characteristics come into play.
Okay.
Its speed, low cost, and scalability make it ideal for cross-border payments.
Right.
It's designed to move value quickly and efficiently across borders,
Right.
which aligns with the goals of a potential America First crypto reserve.
Right, I see what you mean. If the U.S. is aiming to create a more efficient and independent global financial system, XRP would certainly be a valuable tool.
Yeah.
But let's get back to the potential impact on XRP itself.
Yeah.
If it becomes a cornerstone of this strategic reserve, what could that mean for its price?
Well, if the government starts buying up a significant portion of the XRP supply,
Yeah.
it could create a supply shock,
Okay.
potentially driving prices much higher.
Right.
And beyond that,
Yeah.
government backing would provide a level of legitimacy that
Yeah.
could attract more investors and users,
Okay.
further increasing demand.
So it's not just about the government's purchases. It's
Yeah.
about the signal it sends to the market.
Right, exactly.
Like a stamp of approval saying, hey, we believe in the future of XRP.
Precisely. It could create this ripple effect, encouraging other countries to consider incorporating XRP into their own strategic reserves. We could be looking at a scenario where XRP becomes a key player in the global financial system.
Okay, that's a pretty exciting thought.
Yeah.
But let's be realistic for a moment. This whole America First crypto reserve concept, it's still speculative.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We need to be cautious about getting ahead of ourselves.
Right.
This is still just an idea being floated around.
Yeah.
We haven't seen any concrete policy proposals or official statements from the government.
Right. So it's important to remember that all of this is hypothetical.
Right.
But even the fact that it's being discussed at such high levels is pretty remarkable, don't you think?
It is. It highlights how quickly the conversation around cryptocurrencies is evolving.
Right.
Just a few years ago, most people dismissed crypto as, a fad or a speculative bubble.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about governments potentially using it to reshape the global financial system.
It's a reminder that we're living in a truly transformative time. The decisions made today regarding cryptocurrencies will have lasting implications for the future of finance. But let's not lose sight of what brought us to this point, XRP's impressive price surge and the factors driving it.
Indeed, this concept of a crypto reserve is captivating, but we shouldn't let it overshadow XRP's core strengths as a payment solution.
Right.
Its utility in facilitating fast and cost-effective cross-border transactions is what initially attracted attention and continues to drive adoption.
That's an important point. Amidst all the hype and speculation, it's crucial to remember that XRP has real-world applications that are already making a difference. But I think we've lingered on this America First crypto reserve long enough. Let's shift gears and bring this back to our listener. You've been following XRP for a while now. What stands out to you about this potential development? What are your thoughts on the potential implications for XRP's future, given your own investment goals? It's amazing, just how much ground we've covered just exploring these few articles. We started with, XRP breaking through that $3 mark, a price level that hasn't been seen in years. Mm-hmm. And then we uncovered, this whole wave of momentum that's sweeping across the entire crypto market.
Yeah.
Bitcoin surging past $100,000, Ethereum booming. We've got institutional investors finally stepping in. It really feels like the whole world is waking up to the potential of crypto.
And this potential America First crypto reserve just adds another layer of intrigue to it all, right?
Yeah.
It's just a future where crypto isn't just about, investment gains. It could actually become like a strategic tool for governments.
Right.
Potentially, reshaping the global financial landscape as we know it.
It's like we're standing on the cusp of a whole new era where digital assets play much bigger role in global economics and geopolitics.
Right.
But let's not forget about those more immediate factors that are driving XRP's surge. The settlement with the SEC, the potential regulatory tailwinds that we have under the new administration, and that classic crypto market momentum. They're all contributing to the current excitement.
Absolutely. It's this confluence of events that has created like the perfect storm for XRP.
Yeah.
Pushing it into the spotlight. The future, as always, is uncertain.
Of course.
Especially in the volatile world of crypto.
Right.
But that current momentum is undeniable. For those who, understand the technology and its potential, this is a time of immense opportunity.
But as we discussed, navigating this new world requires a healthy dose of caution.
Oh, absolutely.
You have to separate the hype from the reality, the speculation from the facts. So what advice would you give our listener as they navigate this exciting but, sometimes overwhelming world of crypto?
I would say the key is to stay informed and keep learning. Don't get swept up in the hype, but also don't dismiss the potential either.
Right.
Do your own research, understand the technology behind those projects that you're interested in, and just approach these exciting developments with a critical eye.
That's great advice. And that's where resources like the Deep Dive come in. We're here to help you cut through all of that noise, understand these complex issues, and empower you to make more informed decisions in this rapidly evolving landscape.
Precisely. It's about providing that context, connecting the dots, and empowering individuals to navigate this exciting new world with confidence.
I like that. Well said. So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of XRP, what's like the one key takeaway you'd like our listeners to remember?
I would say this. The crypto world is full of possibilities, both thrilling and uncertain. Don't be afraid to explore, but always approach it with a healthy dose of curiosity and a critical mind. Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive. We are diving into some pretty interesting stuff today.
Yeah.
We're talking about some leaked policy proposals and how those could impact the crypto market.
Sounds pretty complex.
It is, but it's exciting too. So we're focusing on a recent Forbes article that really digs into all of this. Bitcoin, XRP, and Solana, those seem to be the coins that are...
of it all,
Yeah, exactly. Buckle up because we've got political surprises, market predictions, and even a touch of presidential inauguration talk coming up.
Oh, wow. Sounds like a lot to unpack.
It is, but that's what we do here. So this Forbes article, it highlights a leaked proposal that's got everyone buzzing. Apparently, Trump is thinking about an America First strategic reserve of cryptocurrencies.
Now, that's intriguing. An America First crypto reserve. I mean, we've heard Trump talk about Bitcoin before, But this is next level.
Right. And it's not just Bitcoin either.
That's the really interesting part. This reserve would include XRP and Solana too?
Oh, hold on. XRP and Solana, that's a pretty big deal, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it suggests a potential shift in U.S. policy.
Yeah.
Moving beyond just Bitcoin and embracing a wider range of cryptocurrencies.
And what does that signal to the rest of the world?
Well, it could be seen as a sign that the U.S. is serious about becoming a leader in the crypto space.
Okay, so this information, it's coming from the New York Post, and they're citing anonymous sources.
Right. Got to be a little cautious with anonymous sources.
Always. But still, the market is reacting, and it's not being cautious at all.
No, not at all. Bitcoin's price has doubled in the last year, hitting about $100,000. And the entire crypto market is almost at $4 trillion.
That is wild. $4 trillion. And you're saying part of this boom is because people are speculating about Trump's crypto plans?
Absolutely. Investors look for any hint they can get about the future. And a major power like the U.S. potentially backing crypto. That's a huge signal. Could mean a flood of new investment.
Which could push those prices even higher.
Exactly. And especially for the coins mentioned in the leak, right? XRP and Solana.
Okay, so let's talk about those specifically. Let's start with XRP. It's up like, what, 500% since Trump won the election?
Roughly, yeah. Around 500%.
Wow.
Why is that?
Well, people are hoping that a Trump administration will clear the way for XRP. Get rid of some of the regulatory roadblocks. They're expecting things to be a lot smoother.
I see. So they're buying in now, betting on a brighter future for XRP.
Exactly. And some experts are making some pretty bold predictions.
Like what?
Well, there's this guy, Arthur Azizov. He runs B2B InPay. It's a crypto platform.
Okay.
And he's predicting that XRP will not only reach its all-time high, but go even higher. He thinks it could hit over $10 in 2025.
$10. That's a huge jump.
Yep.
So then there's Solana. That one's been on fire too, past $200 now.
It has, that surge. It's mostly driven by the anticipation of a potential Solana ETF approval.
Not everyone listening might be familiar with ETFs, so could you break that down a little?
Sure. An ETF, it's an exchange-traded fund. And basically, it lets people easily invest in a basket of assets, like stocks, or in this case, cryptocurrencies. So a Solana ETF would open things up to a much wider range of investors.
Yeah, that's the idea. More accessible, more investment.
But it's not all guaranteed, right? There are some risks involved with Solana, too.
Definitely. Chris Chung. He's the founder of a Solana swap platform called Titan.
Okay.
He's warning that this whole ETF situation, it's a gamble. If the ETF gets approved, Solana could climb even higher. But if it gets rejected,
it could plummet.
Exactly. It's a classic buy the rumor, sell the news scenario.
Oh, man. So much writing on those ETF decisions. Okay, let's zoom out a bit. We've got Trump potentially shaking things up. We've got XRP and Solana on the move. What does all of this tell us about the big players in the crypto world? The people behind these companies, what are they thinking? What are they hoping for?
Well, it seems like they're all banking on a crypto-friendly environment under this new administration. We're talking about people like Brad Garlinghouse from Ripple, Brian Armstrong from Coinbase, and Jeremy Allaire, who runs Circle.
Okay, and Allaire, he made that interesting donation, didn't he? $1 million in USDC to Trump's inauguration committee.
He did. That was a pretty bold move.
It was. I mean, for those who don't know, USDC is a stable coin. It's designed to be less volatile because it's pegged to the US dollar.
Right. More stable, more predictable.
Exactly. But that donation, I can't help but wonder what's behind it. Is it just a generous gesture, or is there a strategic play here?
It's a good question. I mean, companies like Ripple and Coinbase, they really benefit from crypto-friendly regulations.
So could this be a way to try and curry favor with the incoming administration?
Possibly. It's definitely something to think about.
Yeah. It reminds us that crypto isn't just about technology and finance.
No, it's about politics and relationships, too. It's all connected.
Absolutely. And speaking of politics and crypto, there's another big development we need to talk about. The SEC, the main regulatory body for financial markets in the U.S.
Right, the SEC.
They might be getting ready to completely overhaul their crypto policies.
I remember reading a Reuters report about that. It could be huge.
What could this overhaul mean for the crypto world? I mean, particularly for something like XRP.
Well, the SEC has been investigating Ripple for years, trying to figure out if their sales of XRP violated securities laws.
Right, and if the SEC softens its stance under a new administration.
It could be a game changer for XRP. It could open the door to wider adoption. And that's why people are watching these upcoming ETF decisions so closely. They could give us a big clue about which way the regulatory winds are blowing.
So BlackRock got that spot, Bitcoin ETF approved back in 23, and then we saw a bunch of Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs hit the market.
Exactly. If we see similar approvals for Solana or other altcoins, it could signal a real shift toward acceptance of crypto as a whole.
So to recap, we've got a potential shift in U.S. policy toward crypto. The market's going crazy with a mix of excitement and speculation.
And we've got regulatory changes coming that could completely change the game.
It's definitely a dynamic situation.
It is. There are a lot of moving pieces, and they're all connected. And that's what makes it so fascinating and so unpredictable. You really need to understand the bigger picture to make smart decisions, especially with something as volatile as crypto.
I totally agree. Now, to really get a grip on this, I think we need to look closer at the motivations of those key players we talked about. What are they really after? What's driving their actions? And what's their vision for this whole evolving crypto landscape?
It's like a game of chess, isn't it?
It is, and we're about to analyze the players' next moves. So stay with us. We'll be right back after a short break.
Can't wait to dive deeper.
Me neither.
Each player is trying to, anticipate the other's moves, position themselves for success.
And one of the most intriguing players has got to be Donald Trump, right? We know he's been a Bitcoin supporter in the past, even said it could surpass gold's market cap.
Yeah, he made some pretty bold statements back in 24. Remember that whole strategic national Bitcoin reserve idea?
Oh, yeah. That definitely got people's attention.
It did. And now with this leaked proposal hinting at a broader crypto reserve, including XRP and Solana, it's like his interest in crypto is even bigger than we thought.
It does seem that way. But why? Why is Trump so into crypto all of a sudden?
Well, there are a few theories floating around. Some folks think it's a way to counter China's growing influence in the digital currency world. China's been pushing its own digital yuan pretty hard.
Right. So it's a way for the U.S. to stay ahead in the global financial game.
Could be. Kind of like a 21st century space race, but with digital currencies.
I like that analogy, a digital space race. What else? What are some other theories?
Some say it's a move to attract younger voters. Yeah. The ones who are already into crypto.
Yeah, that makes sense. Crypto is often seen as the future of finance.
Exactly. And then there's the economic angle. Embracing crypto could be a way to boost American innovation, create new jobs in the tech sector, all very appealing for a president.
So it's probably a mix of all these things, right? Political decisions are rarely simple.
Yeah, it's usually a combo platter. But what's clear is that Trump sees potential in crypto. He's not afraid to take risks.
That's for sure. Okay, so we talked about Trump, but what about those other major players? Brad Garlinghouse from Ripple, Brian Armstrong at Coinbase, and Jeremy Allaire over at Circle. What are they hoping to gain from all of this?
Well, each of them has their own agenda. Let's start with Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple. Their focus is obviously on XRP's future.
And they've been battling the SEC for years now, haven't they?
Oh, yeah. They have. A more crypto-friendly environment could be a game changer for them. Get that SEC monkey off your back.
It would remove a ton of uncertainty. For sure.
Exactly. They could focus on expanding XRP's reach, making it a global payment solution. It's always been their goal.
Then there's Brian Armstrong at Coinbase. Coinbase is one of the biggest crypto exchanges in the world, so he's got to be watching all this very closely.
He is. For Armstrong, it's all about legitimacy and mainstream adoption. He wants crypto to move beyond that risky investment image and become a recognized asset class. And to do that, he's working with regulators to establish clear guidelines.
So he's playing the long game, trying to build trust and stability?
Exactly. He knows that for crypto to truly thrive, it needs the confidence of both big institutions and everyday users.
And what about Jeremy Allaire from Circle, the company behind that USDC stablecoin? We were talking about his interesting donation to Trump's inauguration.
Right. Allaire is all about the future of stablecoins. He thinks USDC can be a bridge between traditional finance and the crypto world because it's pegged to the US dollar.
So it kind of brings stability to the sometimes chaotic world of crypto.
Exactly. Less volatility. He envisions USDC becoming a common payment method used for everyday transactions, not just within crypto.
That's a pretty ambitious goal.
It is. And a more welcoming regulatory environment would definitely help make that happen. Traditional financial institutions might finally feel comfortable enough to jump into stablecoins like USDC.
It seems like even though these guys have different motives and are taking different approaches, they all want the same thing. They want crypto to succeed. They want it to be a part of the financial system.
I think that's a really important point. It's this shared vision that's fueling so much of the current excitement. Investors see a possible perfect storm brewing, a potentially supportive administration, shifting regulations, and a growing ecosystem of companies and projects.
It's a lot of potential. But we got to be real, too. There are still a lot of challenges and uncertainties. What could derail this crypto boom? What should people be cautious about?
Well, as we've said, the regulatory landscape is still a bit of a Wild West. There could be some unexpected roadblocks, setbacks. Regulations could stifle innovation or make things too hard for businesses to operate.
And let's not forget about the volatility. Crypto prices can swing wildly, making it a risky investment for a lot of people.
Definitely. What goes up can come down just as fast. Investing in crypto takes research, risk management, and a long-term mindset.
Not a get-rich-quick scheme.
Not at all. Crypto's still young, still volatile.
Yeah.
It's important to stay grounded and invest responsibly.
So we've talked about the potential, we've talked about the risks, but where does this all go? What's the future of crypto? And specifically for those coins that seem to be at the center of this whole Trump crypto thing, XRP and Solana.
It's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
Will this really be a turning point for crypto, or is it just a temporary blip?
What do you think? What are the big things to watch that will tell us if this is going to be a game changer?
Well, like we've been saying, those regulatory decisions are going to be huge. The SEC, other global regulators, what they do will have a major impact on where crypto goes from here.
So the rules of the game are still being written, basically.
Pretty much. And those rules will determine how easy it is for companies to operate, for people to invest for crypto, to become part of the mainstream financial system.
Okay, so back to XRP and Solana specifically. What should we be watching for? What are the signs that these coins are headed for a boom or a bust?
For XRP, it all comes back to the SEC and Ripple. If the SEC eases up like we discussed, it could remove a big obstacle and unleash a lot of potential. We could see a surge in adoption and investment.
And for Solana, those ETF decisions are going to be crucial, right?
Yeah, if a Solana ETF gets approved, it could open the doors to a flood of new investors.
But it's not just about specific regulations, is it? It's also about the overall sentiment toward crypto.
Right. If the public and big institutions continue to gain confidence in crypto as a legitimate asset class, that's good news for all coins, including XRP and Solana.
So much to consider. What advice would you give to our listeners who are trying to navigate all of this, maybe even thinking about investing in crypto for the first time?
I'd say stay informed, be cautious, and don't get caught up in the hype. Do your homework, understand the risks, and remember, crypto is a long game.
So no get-rich-quick schemes.
It's tempting to think that way when you see these coins skyrocketing, but crypto's still young. It's volatile. It's important to be realistic, invest responsibly.
That's great advice. As we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one big thing you hope our listeners take away from all of this?
I think the main takeaway is that we're at a crossroads with crypto. The decisions made in the next few months, the next few years, will shape the future of finance in a major way. And whether you're an experienced investor or just starting out, it's an exciting time to be paying attention.
It really is. And as always, we encourage our listeners to keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking questions. The crypto world is constantly changing. There's always something new to discover. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone.
Until next time.
Keep diving.